I wanted to show you guys a couple of things that might help you out as you start working on this outline. One of those is if you go to our Blackboard page under Units and General Resources, so right there, Units and General Resources. If you go into the General Resources folder, there's a lot of things in here that should hopefully help you throughout the course of the semester, including things around essay writing and of course the elements of an essay that I'm sure you all reviewed before you took the quiz. But you'll see that I've added two things here if you scroll down to the bottom. One is to look at topic sentences, which as I was reviewing your outlines, I saw some problems with topic sentences. So I strongly recommend you take a look at that. It's got some examples from actually a 111 class, so it'll be a nice review for you guys as you're trying to go forth. Let's look actually at an example right now. So I've got an outline from your class here. Modern Family seemed like it was a really popular show, so we're going to go with that. We've got this person who's got a fairly clear thesis statement. We've got Modern Family presents a gender-fluid representation of family life and challenges the compound within the nuclear family. Roles within the television show shift based on the expertise shared by the parent. So we've got this person that's saying if we look at the show, what we're seeing here is that people don't always follow the roles that we might expect. So it goes against some of those things perhaps that we saw in our reading. But then if I look at what I would expect the first topic sentence to be right here, we've got these two characters named Mitchell and Cam fulfilling both the needs of mother and father to Lily. And full disclosure, I haven't seen many episodes of Modern Family, so just not trying to necessarily make a great claim about what the show is about. But just to show you that even with that, even not knowing the show, I'm reading this, I'm like, okay, if they fulfill both the needs of the mother and the father, how is that doing what we said up here, gender fluid representation of family life? Now, could I guess that maybe they're saying if you're both mother and father that's saying that somehow these people, how they act doesn't fit the stereotypes? Sure, but a goal in a topic sentence is to do two things. You want to always make something that is broad enough to cover everything in your paragraph, but also narrow enough to be a specific new point in support of your thesis statement. In fact, if you go back to our Unit 2 overview, you will see something that says what we're looking for when we've got topic sentences. Let's go. Topic sentence for each body paragraph makes an argument that supports the thesis. So I'm going to show you a little tweak I could do to something like this. If you were one of the people who got some comments on your outline that said, hey, you're not really having very full and clear topic sentences, here's some ideas. So we've got Mitchell and Cam fulfilling both the needs of mother and father to Lily. I'm just going to add something small right here, which illustrates how they do not conform to typical male roles, but are instead more fluid in their roles. Maybe we don't want to repeat the word fluid, so maybe we do something different, but are instead able to shift, we also use shift there, able to move from traditional expectations. Okay, just a little something like that. What I'm doing it there is I'm telling my reader really, really clearly, I've got these two characters, they do something that falls outside the norm. So that's just one example of that. And again, like I said, I encourage you to take a look at the PowerPoint that we've got under General Resources for some examples right there. The other thing that I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about, the new thing that I added under here is a link to the online writing lab at Purdue for transition words. So I want to talk about that idea, and I also want to talk about how you'll build up your paragraphs once you've got those topic sentences. So we're going to take a look at one more thing. This is going to be sort of a faux outline that I decided to write. Another really popular show right here was, where's our faux outline? There's my faux outline. This is what I would write. Was the Gilmore Girls. So we've got this Gilmore Girls thesis. Although there are many instances of gender stereotypes reflected in the Gilmore Girls, younger characters such as Rory, Lane, and Paris all routinely challenge conventional gender expectations. So I saw a lot of you guys were working around Rory and Lorelai. I decided, hey, let's go crazy. Let's have Paris in there. Let's have Lane in there. So we got all the young girls. Now, let's just say in this very, very quick and dirty outline I did, I have decided that my third paragraph is going to be dedicated to Paris. And I've got Paris is a very strong woman as my topic sentence. Again, we've got that same problem. How does Paris, being a strong woman, offer me a new argument supporting this overall thesis statement? And then how am I going to go through and show that? Well, let's say that I was watching this episode, one where Paris decides that she's going to scare off the competition at a debate. So we're just going to look at a tiny little bit of it and then look at a paragraph that I wrote. So let's take a look at this.
Bolts on the side of your neck. What is that? Just really good cover-up? Rory, lower your voice. People are trying to concentrate. Wow. Wow what? Your speech must really suck. Excuse me? I mean, if you're going to all this trouble to psych out everyone else, then you must know you have a loser there. Mind games. Not your forte, Cupcake. Stick to talking the losers off the train tracks, will you? You're horrible. And I'm going to win. Cherry.
Okay, so we've got our very, very tough character there. Let's look back at what I would do then. So instead of just saying she's a strong woman, I'm going to look at that and say she's a strong woman. And what's interesting in this scene is she's a strong woman and she's not really interested in trying to make friends. She's much more concerned about, she just wants to win. As we saw at the end, I'm going to win. So let's look at an ideal paragraph. I will also post this paragraph under units and general resources. This could be something else that could help you guys out. So, sort of breaks down how we'd go into the paragraph. First, I've got that transition word, finally, because I'm, again, imagining that this is my last body paragraph, and now I've got a topic sentence. It lists a new point, really a new argument in support of my thesis. Paris is a character whose drive and ambition for academic and eventually career success break the stereotypes usually seen for women on television. See how in that one I'm not just saying she's strong, I'm like she's strong, and the reason why this matters to my thesis is because it's a break in the stereotypes. Now, let's look at one of the other things that I told many of you guys to think about, which was to remember that you want to have your description of the show to be so detailed that it was something that even someone who'd never seen the show would understand. So, I've got one place where you can see this is in Season 2, Episode 9, when Paris performs absolutely ruthlessly to make certain she can win a debate at Chilton, the high-pressure boarding school she attends. She sits down next to various classmates, prodding with questions meant to throw them off guard, like subtly suggesting they've written too much. Finally, she shouts up to Brad, a somewhat nervous classmate. Unlike many teenage girls depicted on television, Paris cares, see look, catching my own spelling errors, cares not at all for trying to win Brad over romantically. Instead, she teases him about a musical he was in. Caring very little for how she's perceived maintaining relationships, when Rory calls her out for scaring her classmates, Paris bluntly denies it and maintains her assertive confidence when Rory suggests Paris' speech sucks because she's scaring others away. Mind games, not your forte, Cupcake, she says scathingly. So for many of you, if you don't have those quotes in your outline, that's fine. But as you're working forward to do the essay, maybe you want to go back and rewatch the shows. That's the great thing about now that we've got so much streaming TV, or as you can see, I just ended up pulling mine off YouTube because I knew I only needed that one clip, but I could watch it over and over again slowly so that I could transcribe that. We also see that I've got my correct MLA citation, because the first thing that I would see in the name of in the works cited list would be the name of the episode for something like this. So I've got that posted right there. Next step is what I'm calling close reading. Many of you got a comment that said, how and why? Okay, how and why does what you just said support your point? Which means I've given this example, and instead of leaving it to my reader to say, okay, this is one example of breaking the stereotypes, I take the time to explain it. So we've got that in the purple there. Here, Paris' complete lack of concern for how others perceive her or for forming romantic attachments is interesting, but dismissing Rory so bluntly, Cupcake is meant to be a way to call Rory weak. Paris counteracts many of the stereotypes that Susan DeWitt notes in her article. So now I begin to shift into the last place, which is that I use some of that reading to support my point. This is a way to help me say, hey, it's not just me who's making this idea up. It's really something that we can see in other people's writing. So I've got, which says women are usually sensitive, romantic, attractive, happy, warm, sociable, and peaceful. So you can see right there I've got a signal phrase, which says, I've got my quote, and then afterwards I'm going to explain the quote, suggesting that female characters are much more often concerned with social appeal than their own success. Paris, as we see here, shows truly no concern for that, focused on her own success. In many ways, then, she appears to be the dominant and competitive behaviors Wit associates with men. So that would be what we're going to be looking for in a paragraph. We've got to have that transition, clear topic sentence, detailed example, detailed close reading of how and why that example supports our thesis. And it's always great if somewhere we can also work in some extra help from our readings. So again, I'm going to post this example under the Unison General Resources folder. So I encourage you guys to take a look at that. You've got until Sunday to keep writing the essay, so good luck, guys.